will now announce the winner of the Olympia. Please take the check for $400,000, the Olympia gold medal, and the Sandow.
It's a dream for 10 years. Last 10 years ago, I'm working hard.
And new Mr. Olympia, Big Ramy!
Big Ramy, the biggest bodybuilder in the world. In a sport dominated by American legends, no one expected a humble fisherman from Egypt to shake the foundations of bodybuilding. They laughed when he showed up at his first show, but in just a few years, Big Ramy would become the biggest, literally and figuratively, force the Olympia stage had ever seen in decades. This is the full story of Mamdouh Big Ramy Elssbiay. From obscurity to Mr. Olympia and beyond. He was born in Borolos, a small fishing village in Egypt in 1984. Big Ramy came from humble beginnings. He worked with his brothers fishing on the Mediterranean, waking up at dawn, physically demanding labor that unknowingly laid the foundation for his freakish physique. It wasn't until he moved to Kuwait to work as a gym trainer at Oxygen Gym, which changed everything. Ramy began training seriously in 2009. By 2012, just 3 years later, he shocked the world by winning the Amateur Olympia in Kuwait. Imagine that, a man who had never even competed professionally was now qualified for the Mr. Olympia stage. In 2013, Ramy made his IFBB Pro debut at the New York Pro, one of the most prestigious shows outside of the Olympia, and he won it, easily. He won against Victor Martinez, which shocked the bodybuilding scene. It was crazy to see that a man on his debut can win over a legend like Victor. The whole bodybuilding community was talking about it. At 5'10" and nearly 290 pounds on stage, Ramy redefined what it meant to be a man's monster. He made it his Mr. Olympia debut in 2013, placing 8th, which a lot of people say that he should have deserved more, but since it was his first Olympia, the judges didn't give him a higher placing. In the years that followed, Ramy became a fan favorite for his unreal size, but critics and judges consistently docked him for lacking conditioning and detail. In 2014 he placed 7th, in 15 he placed 5th, in 16 he placed 4th, in 2017, which was his best showing, he placed 2nd to Phil Heath, narrowly beaten by him, and a lot of people had him winning over Phil. And in 2018 he was 6th, a major disappointment for him. But after his 6th place finish in 18, critics said Ramy was done. Some even said he was all hype. He was the man with the greatest potential. If he comes all in, he could easily wipe the whole Olympia stage. That's what people were talking about for his whole years competing. He skipped the 19 Olympia due to injuries and prep issues, and the buzz faded. But in 2020, during a global pandemic, Ramy couldn't compete because he couldn't travel due to the pandemic, which made the Olympia give him a special invitation, which a lot of people said that he didn't deserve. But Ramy worked hard and he made a comeback. Many didn't expect much, but Ramy brought something different. He came in shredded, balanced and mature. He worked with Chad Nichols. Also, in addition to his training coach, Dennis James, legends in the sport. Although in the Arnold Classic he placed 3rd, which was a bit disappointing for him, but he came back. He dominated the 2020 Mr. Olympia, defeating Brandon Curry, the reigning champ, and Phil Heath, who placed third. He had finally done it. Big Ramy, Mr. Olympia 2020. In 2021, Ramy came back to defend his title. This time the pressure was on, and despite some whispers about his conditioning still being off, he won his second Olympia title, although he didn't train much that year due to some issues, becoming the first Arab Mr. Olympia to win back-to-back. He became a national hero in Egypt, meeting the president, celebrated by news outlets, and immortalized in the Arab fitness world. Just search up his airport welcoming in Egypt. It was crazy. Sponsors lined up. His Instagram exploded. He was now the face of bodybuilding globally. People critiqued him because he wasn't able to speak English, but he worked hard on his English and did a lot of things in the Middle East. He promoted the sport in a way that no one else in that area done before. But he still gets critics for being a bad ambassador in their opinion, but it isn't true, because they don't see the other half of the world. Then came 2020. Ramy looked different, though still massive. He lacked the trademark fullness and pop. His back looked soft, and his legs appeared down sides. He placed 5th. It wasn't the Ramy we knew. A shocking result. Fans blamed everything from prep timing, injury rumors, to a lack of hunger. His lower back especially, was gone, and his triceps were lacking. Some of his body parts weren't the same. The fall was swift. Critics said he didn't evolve. Others said the judges never really liked Ramy's look. Even legends like Ronnie Coleman voiced concern over Ramy's physique that year. Although one year said that Ronnie Coleman predicted that Ramy would be the next man to have a win streak in the Olympia. In interviews post-2022, Ramy opened up. He said the loss hit him hard, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Bodybuilding had always been his escape, his tool to overcome poverty and make his family proud. Now with the world watching, he faced self-doubt. But Ramy never lashed out. He remained humble, kind, gracious. He reminded fans why they loved him, not just for his size, but for his heart. In 2023, Ramy competed at the Arnold Classic, hoping to redeem himself. He placed 4th. Better than his Olympia result, but still below expectations. Everyone that night said that he looked so big and he improved, which was surprising because the judges just didn't place him high, although he deserved more in a lot of people's mind. He later announced that he would take some time off to recover, reassess, and potentially return to the Olympia in the future. Ramy's story isn't just about bodybuilding. He proved that a man from a tiny Egyptian family without money or privilege could become the world's best. He inspired millions across the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. He broke barriers. He brought new fans to the sport. Whether or not he ever wins again, Ramy's legacy is secure. And still now we see some leaks that he might be competing this Olympia, which is getting a lot of people hyped, and I hope to wish him on stage this year. In a sport obsessed with symmetry, lines, and detail, Ramy brought back the freak factor. He showed up at nearly 300 pounds on stage and really defined the Olympia look. He was the biggest on stage ever, weighing the most, looking the biggest and the most freakiest. He stayed humble in victory and gracious in defeat. He was kind. Everyone said that he was the kindest soul ever. From a fisherman to a Mr. Olympia to a forever a legend. This was the story of Big Ramy.